This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mithras. Mithras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission. All rights reserved.
And we should be live now. If somebody can talk, that would be brilliant.
Yeah. Do you want me to do what now?
Brilliant. Excellent. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. A really exciting session today because we are switching games. We have taken off our lycra and our capes and our masks, and we've pushed them all to one side, and we are blasted off into space for some sci-fi role-playing game based on the Mithras rule system, but called M Space, i.e. Mithras in space. Thank you to Maglaw, who's just come in and raided us at the beginning. Thank you, Maglaw. Hope you had a good stream. It's lovely to have you along. Welcome to Huldra as well, and anybody else. You might have been bitten. Just to let you know that the doctor has told me that I'm not allowed to drink caffeine anymore. So this is only my third cup of caffeine. I'm going down gently. I was up to 67 cups, and he said, no, you can't have that many. And I said, what would be a reasonable level? And he said, none. So I'm going downhill. And then he asked me whether or not I was on cocaine. He literally went, do you smoke? No. Do you drink alcohol? No. Do you drink caffeine? Yes. Are you on cocaine? No. It's just like, why?
Oh, you surprised us. You surprised us in the last answer.
It's just like, why on? Was it in my eyes or something? I just thought that was complete.
The glit and the twitch. That's all he saw.
Well,
in the eyes.
Just to let you know, now that you've mentioned it, he says that I do have a twitch on my left side of my face. And I've been thinking, have you all been seeing me sort of like ticking away and just sort of like ignoring me? Or he says I have it down my left side. So,
were you playing poker? And is that like you tell?
Well, yeah. I kept wondering why he was just looking at me all the time. And then he said, I was analyzing your facial muscles as you answered questions. So I have what's called a tremor in my left hand and my left arm. So all of a sudden it just starts to move by itself, and they don't know what it is. He did say, do you take cocaine? No. Well, it's not Parkinson's then. All right. I hadn't even thought it was Parkinson's. And now I'm just sort of like, coffee is evil. Yeah. Maybe he saw my credit card or something in my pocket, or white lines or twitches. Anyway, so I'm off coffee. Well, I'm going down gently. So I'm down to 3 cups a day, but I am taking a cup of coffee now just to get me fired up for this adventure. So, and we've got a new player coming in today as well, which is really exciting. And I've got some situations later on for characters to introduce themselves to each other. But we always start off the stream by allowing the players to say who they are and who they're playing tonight. Now, Tex, you don't have to say anything about your character that you don't want to. You can make it as brief or as in-depth. If Chuggerwugger was here, he has a long intro to his characters, but Perdi's is nice and short. So if we leave Tex to last, and so as you pass on the baton, and then it'll come to you last so you can see what everybody else does. And we always start with the infamous Zach Newman. So we're handing over to you, Mr. Pickles.
Yes, I am Mr. Pickles, and I play Zach Newman, who is a very tough character, I guess. That's his thing, is he's a tough guy. He's very physically strong. He carries around a shotgun that he blasts things away with. He's our team's fighter, in a sense. He also works our ship's guns, the turrets and whatnot. So he's very much an attack character, and he once was a law enforcer, but he did not like the sense of corruption that was around. He has some sleight of hand skills from his time in the corrupt law enforcement, but he's struck out on his own to use his own sense of justice to try and bring order to this universe. That is Zach Newman.
The law.
He's built like
He's
built like Mark Wahlberg, and his charisma is just as high. And I'll pass it off at that point to my comrade Medivac. Or should I say Captain?
Yes, I'm Medivac, and I play James Minsk. He is the crew's captain in a sense. He's also the voice, the amazingly talented, amazing talker who can persuade people to do wonderful things. He can also delve into people's, minds. He can generally attune to what they're thinking, how they're reacting with his with his insight. Sorry. He's an amazing pilot, whether that be a hovercraft or a starship. Although we won't talk about what happened to his first starship because we don't know.
Because you don't know.
No. He has a couple of contacts. He has one contact. So he has Jodie Jacks, JJ, who he met. She saved us when we first crashed. She saved us.
She's the captain of the other ship, wasn't she?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Very good at bureaucracy, piloting. He's not a fighter. He's a lover. When he does fight, slapper. He does do an attack called like a slap attack, where he's just literally, when you see two grown men fighting, but they can't fight, they're like, that's what he does. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
No.
I don't think anybody ever does that.
No,
except in movies.
I saw Steve Martin do it once. Right, and with that, I shall pass it on to Captain Kangaroo.
Hi everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo. Tonight I'm playing the jack of all trades, the infamous Arthur Hammond. He's an old man who gets a lot of things done to help benefit the rest of the crew. He's mostly there just to kind of tinker with things and try to create devices that are there to most likely explode when the crew needs it the most. But he's also kind of does his own thing. He's able to handle himself a little bit on fighting. Doesn't necessarily have to pussy slap his way through things. He's able to at least shoot a gun.
I think don't you have a sniper rifle?
Yes,
I'm sure you took a skill in sniper rifle.
I did. It's called tactical recon combat. That's what I've decided the combat style is going to be, and it's going to be a mix of sniper rifle and demolitions.
Nice.
Yeah, but I think altogether, I think it'd be really cool. But I'll keep it nice and short. I'll try to remember what his voice sounds like. I will pass off to our new guy over here, Tickety Tex.
Howdy, I'm Tickety Tex. I'm playing Io, and she is my first female character. And she's a bit tech savvy, likes to crack some jokes every once in a while. And she has a particular set of skills that probably will come in handy.
Sounds good. And then once you finish, you pass it back to me.
Okay, well, I'll pass it back to Inwills.
Thank you. Now, the party is joined by one more crew member who is their faithful medic, their robot called Perdi. Perdi is an expert on medicine, first aid, biology, anything like that. She is the person to go to. She accompanies the party virtually everywhere they go, as long as they want her to be with them. And she has a real disliking for public data ports or charging points. She doesn't like to stick any of her probes into anything that might be dirty or carrying some kind of virus. And that makes up the team so far. Hi, Darth. Darth has just come in and said hello to you all. Now, you can, of course, support us in a variety of ways. So the first thing that you can do, you can go along and follow the Ko-fi site, where we put all our role-playing games and character sheets, etc. up there. So go along and press the follow. You don't need to pay or subscribe or anything like that. If you would like to support your favorite player or character or even the group of players, then you can actually we have various levels of membership. The first one is starting off as low as £1, and that could get you some access to some interesting behind the scenes footage, etc. However, with further membership, you can provide hero points or hero roles. These are roles that the characters can use to get an automatic success. And if they use 2 of them, they can have an automatic crit success. And also with those hero roles or luck roles, they can do the reverse on me. So they can make one of my roles fail totally, or for 2 of them, they can actually cause me to fumble, and then that's it. You can also have a sneaky peek at the Mithras character sheets. Those are up there already. I'll be putting the destined ones on next, and then the M space. And it also gives you access to the World Anvil site, where we house all our organizations, NPCs. And if you go for that top membership, you also get to see my adventure notes, which, believe me, are not that exciting. Of course, if you don't want to go over there, would prefer to stay on Twitch, then you can support us just by following the channel, subscribing, or giving donations or bits on Twitch. And if you are like me, hard up, and still want to support us, then that's absolutely fine. We really value you hanging out in the chat, sharing the word of the stream, and interacting. And if you say anything on the chat, then I will feed it back to the party, because they tend not to watch the stream because they can see my hidden sheets. So no matter how you're supporting the channel, we really value and appreciate your support. We're going to start off tonight's session with some experience rolls. So at the end of last adventure, the characters all got 10 experience rolls. Now, there's no levels in Mithras or M Space or Destiny or anything like that. What happens, it's purely skill based. So at the end of every adventure, the party gets some experience rolls to use. And what they can do, they can allocate the same skill or different skills. It's completely up to them. They roll a 1d100, add on their intelligence, and if the result is the same or higher than their current skill roll, then they add on 1d4 plus 1 worth of percentages. So somebody has a skill of 60 and they roll 65, then they will add on 1d4 plus 1. If they fail the roll, i.e. they get below their skill, then the skill does still go up. It goes up by 1%. And like I said, characters and players can use the all 10 on one skill or spread them out. Tex's character is going to get the 10 skill points, experience rolls, but he's not going to be rolling them tonight. He's going to get into his character, learn about his character, then decide where he wants to spend them. And the reason Tex is getting it is so he can bring his character up to roughly the level of everyone else. The only other thing to say before we do the experience rolls is if you fumbled a skill at any time during the adventure, then it naturally goes up by 1%. And you can see on the screen now, this column here that I'm pointing to, this is where we mark off the fumbles. So if players sort of like say, oh, I had a fumble, then they will automatically increase by 1 point. Okay, so Mr. Pickles, we are coming to you. You have 10 skill rolls. What would you like to roll them on?
Well, first off, it looks like I fumbled my perception pretty badly last adventure,
Nice.
so I
So
got my my perception up 1 point.
Cool. What is it now?
I also it went from 62 to 63. So
Nice.
I'm pretty
Nice.
perceptive.
Yeah.
I left myself notes on what I wanted to do, and
Nice.
apparently my gunnery was terrible last time as well. I want to spend 5 of my points just on that.
Cool. Let me move you across to your spaceship so everyone can see it. I've put you in your allocated positions as well on that. Yeah, go for it. So yeah, you were in the dorsal turret last time, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. My gunnery is a 37. Here's
What?
my first roll. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty bad.
And the first one's a fail.
So that means it goes up to 38.
38. So remember, you just change the box in the end, and it will put the one in the other column. Does that make sense? Is that working?
Yep.
Yeah.
That works. Here's my second roll on that. All right.
Oh, 4. 4 points. Nice.
Here's my third roll.
That's 1 point.
Here's my fourth roll. I'm gonna get up there, and here's my fifth roll of gunnery.
Oh, that's a success.
There we go.
4 points. 4 points.
Okay, I'm up to 48. That's a little bit more comfortable.
Okay.
Okay, the next one I want is knowledge of the law, because that's what my character's always saying, is I know the law.
I know the law.
So it is a 50 right now, because I had a lot of experience in the law enforcement.
That's a success. It's a success, and it goes up by 2 points.
52. All right. So that is 6 rolls down. The next okay, I named my combat style the law, so I got kind of confused why knowledge the law
Darth
and the law.
Darth has just said in the chat, Newman is the law. Yeah, so what you putting up next?
The law, my combat style. It's at 81, and here
wow.
we go. It's at 82.
It's at 82 now.
This is my best skill, so got to keep leveling up.
3 more,
so
I think.
Yes. The next one is unarmed. I'm gonna
Ooh.
wrestle. It's a 33.
It's not anymore.
Was a 33.
It's a 37.
Right. 2 more. I want to do athletics. It is a 48. Yeah, I gotta be.
Yeah.
Did that roll? That roll.
That did. It's a fail though, so it's only. Oh, that was so close.
It's okay. 49's better. And then my last one I want to use on brawn, because big muscle man. It's 55, so I fail. But that's okay. 56.
Those are 2 very close rolls at the end. Yeah. Anything else that you would like to? That's all your 10 rolls, yeah?
Yes, that's all my rolls.
Done and dusted. So we'll move across to Medivac with Minsk.
I want to do the old way because my rolls are better on the old
way. Minsk is the pilot of the ship.
And speaking of which, I'm going to put 2 points into piloting.
Oh, nice. Here they come.
Let's see what this does.
It takes it up to 84.
So I just change it in the actual outside box to 84.
Yeah, and you should see the other box naturally change.
I'll try again. Yay, for a 4.
Yeah, so
that should be
88.
Oh, yes, it just changed. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, my next one's going to be influence.
Ooh.
Because, you know, I like to talk.
You like to influence people.
Yes.
Oh, that goes up by 2 points. Oh, that
takes me to 80.
80. Nice.
And my next one.
81.
81.
That's 4 down.
Right, the next one is evade, because, you know.
You need to hit the deck quicker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's gone up. 28.
So 28.
That is not a good event.
No. Explains I've got my face stumped.
Yeah, but it's now 30.
30, that's a great start. Fantastic. Right, so evade. Perception.
Ooh.
Which at the moment is 42.
Oh.
Oh, my life.
Yeah.
47.
47, nice.
And another one. 48.
40, that's good.
Yeah, I'll live with that. That's
Is
good.
that it?
No. Sneaky shot,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is my my hidden blaster.
Yeah. Part of your combats.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes.
2%. So 55 now. And my last, not 555,
No.
55. There we go. And my last one.
Oh, it goes up again.
Another 2%. So
57. That's nice.
Fantastic. And I am spent.
Nice. And so we come across to you, Captain. Captain, do you know where the improve roll button is now on your skills?
Is it the plus one?
No. If you go to the cog at the end of the skill
Oh,
and
okay.
press it, a little thing will come down saying improve, and that's where it rolls from. So you have, you've got 10. What would you like to spend them on?
The first two I'm going to spend on evade. Try to improve that a bit.
Nice.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's 37 now. So just change the number in the percentage bit.
All right, and then I'm going to do it one more time.
Yep. Wow.
Ooh.
Mr. Hammond's getting all the good rolls.
That's right. Thank you for you guys' sacrifice. And then the next one's going to be my new combat style. It involves sniper rifles. It's called Tactical Recon Combatant.
Nice. Go for it.
That sounds fancy, right?
It does. It sounds really good. What's the skill level at the moment?
30. It's a brand new one. All right. All right. Let's see.
Oh,
there we go.
It's now 32.
One more time. There we go.
Oh, nice. 36.
Really going up there.
You might start to hit things at now.
I know. Next would be just go basic insight, try to get that going.
Yep.
That maybe you can not wear glasses. Okay. So that's
49. You're getting all the good rolls.
yeah. I made sure I reached out to the engineers of Roll20, make sure I got these good rolls. Next one's gonna be pilot, just to make Minsk angry that there's someone coming up behind him.
So just so you know, Hammond uses pilot to fly his drones.
Ooh.
Ooh, you are definitely. I don't think you failed one roll yet.
That's right.
This Hammond's on fire.
What's that?
Next will be demolitions. That's to help make my bombs.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, spoke too soon.
I know. How dare you guys ruin that for me? I'm just gonna put one in there, and then next would be electronics.
Yeah, I think you got 2 more, don't you? Yeah.
I should have 3 more. I think.
Oh, 3 more.
Yeah. What's that? Electronics is 63.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many did you do? 2? Do you want
which one?
Do you want to do 2 electronics or just 1?
I was meant to do 1.
So just take the first one then, and then I think that's 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So you got 1 more.
63 plus 5 is 68. All right. One more. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna do with my original one, jury rigging.
Okay.
Well.
Yeah.
All right, come on.
61.
And it was only off by 1 too.
It was good. There was some close ones with Newman as well. So just to remind you that if anybody has a skill of 100 or greater, then what actually happens then is that becomes a negative modifier to the person that is trying to avoid the shot or trying to be deceitful. So there is a purpose for them going up. Any roll any roll, I think it's 96 and above automatically fails, and anything 1 to 5 automatically succeeds no matter what. And then the fumble chances are currently at 99, 100, but if they get above 100, then the fumble chance is only 100. So things are less likely to happen. Okay, then. So with all the experience points sorted out, what we need to do is set the scene for the next part of the adventure. And if you remember, you were on the ship, and the ship belongs to the Sons of Black Star, if you remember that. And what's going to have happened is that you will have taken a light speed jump, and you are in a new planetary system. Okay, and I'm going to share with you all, so hopefully you will see it. I'm going to share with you the planetary system for the area that you're in. So that should pop up in your journals somewhere.
Yeah, Sothis.
Yeah, Sothis is the one. It's quite a small system. Only has one major star and then 3 planets, although the ones at the furthest rims are rock planets and ice planets. However, the important thing to notice of Sothis is the atmosphere. If you look at the atmosphere, you will see that it is thin reducing. Okay, now this has very important consequences. Within any airtight building, so whether or not it be a ship or the hover car or anything where there's a sealable airlock or anything like that, then you are absolutely fine. However, in order to venture out of a building, whether or not you get lumbered there, dropped there, find yourself there, whatever, then you actually have to wear a full face mask on your face that is linked to an oxygen supply. So the face map seals around your face, so just underneath your chin, etc. It goes down so it covers your communicators, etc. And you get like a pipe that goes to an oxygen cylinder that you put on your belt. There's normally enough for 8 hours to be outside with your first lot of oxygen. There is some important information that you might just want to write down at this time. If any shots hit your head or anything happens to your head, there is a chance, that I'm not telling you what it is, to pierce your face mask. At that point, okay, you literally have 1 to 2 minutes before endurance checks need to be made. Okay, initially after 1 and 2 minutes, it is a standard roll. Okay, however, after 1 minute after that, the endurance check increases by difficulty grade. So after 3 minutes, you are doing an endurance check and it's hard. After 4 minutes, so forth and so on. If the endurance check fails at any point, there's not a gradual succumbing to sleep or anything like that. If you fail it, you fall unconscious and that's it. In order to resuscitate you, you would need to be taken into a sealed part of a building or a ship. There exists on the planet a wireless network that has a range of roughly about coming up to about 1 kilometer from every building. Anything beyond that, the wireless network does not extend to at all. There are still computer signals. You can still pick up signals, say from drones or vehicles or anything like that, but there's no actual Wi-Fi on the planet outside there. The only other thing to say is that the law level is quite relaxed. The only things that you are not allowed to have in your possession when you go down to planet are explosives, so no grenades or anything like that. And the law level is very much like Arid. There is a few patrolling shield agents or police constables here, but it's quite relaxed. You're still on the outer rim of the solar system. However, the thinning atmosphere may cause issues if you're out there for too long. Apart from that, you have landed your ship, and at this point, I'm just going to move you across to a nice picture that I've got of the Sothis starport. As you can see, it's quite relaxed. There's not a huge amount of law enforcement here. There is no core presence at all, very similar to Arid. And it looks like it's an okay place. You can get repairs done, but they're probably expensive, or they might not have the right components for you. However, it is at this point that the Sons of Black Star disembark. And if you remember, they have a child with them, a ward that you protected, and especially you, Minsk. I think you were in the underground passages when the nasty people came, and you fought them off bravely.
Indeed.
But sadly, you paid for that. And you know that the Sons of Black Star believe that this ward is the chosen one, the savior, the person who's going to make a huge amount of difference in the actual solar system, in the whole of the universe. And if you remember, you saw her demonstrate some of her psychic abilities when she screamed at the people, at the attackers. And the Sons of the Black Star ask you to, they're very grateful for your help, and in a form of payment, they would like you to keep the ship on a unlimited rental situation. The Sons of the Black Star can ask it back at any point, but they feel that you piloted a lot better than they did. If you remember in their adventure, they only can use autopilot and auto gunning, but you actually flew the ship really well. And if you remember also, you withstood a boarding party. I don't know if you remember that. They boarded down.
Yeah, we did.
In the airlock, and you fought them off. So they're passing the ship over to you, but they have a request that you will obey. There's no option to say no to this, because they would like to put a liaison character with you. And this character, this person, will be making part of your group. And if the Sons of the Black Star ever want to get back in touch, then it will be through this party member. And that party member, of course, is Io. Is that how we're going to say it? Dex? Io.
Yeah. Io.
Yeah, brilliant. And
Who? I who?
Yeah.
Black Star.
And so you are in like a tavern or a coffee shop or some kind of internet bar. There is alcohol available, but you're really getting off ship. Your ship is being refueled at this point, and there wasn't any significant damage, I think.
No.
Yeah. So it's been
I'm going to say no anyway.
Yeah, and Darth said in the chat, by the way, he said, "Sothis, you'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy." But
There's literally a shop that says drugs.
yeah.
You know?
It's like pharmaceuticals. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
Yeah, they're vitamins, right? Guys, they're vitamins.
So
Come
like
on.
aspirins and
Yeah.
things like
Yeah,
that.
It's the kind of vitamins animals take, like the cocaine, as
and,
doctors
and
assume.
coffee. Yeah.
Do not say that. I do
I'll take
not.
one drugs, please.
I do not take cocaine, please. I hate to think what the level of maturity has to be on YouTube now, but yes, I don't.
It's just a cold, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so
those darn allergies.
Well, before Blackstar go and the child goes, I'd like to just kneel next to the child and say, look, kid, don't trust anybody. Look after yourself and don't get kidnapped again. And I'll sort of ruffle her hair.
yeah, and she
And
sort of
stand up
like
again.
smiles at you. As you know, she doesn't speak, and she just sort of like smiles at you. And the Sons of the Black Star sort of, if you remember, they are a bit like, is it the Black Hole film?
Yeah, with the masks.
Yeah, so they're sort of like
yeah.
robed and they have reflective face masks on. Yeah. And she sort of like looks at you and you're not too sure. There might have been a flicker of a smile at you. And one of the Sons of the Black Star hold out their hand, and the girl and the ward turns around and takes hold of it. And they express their gratitude to you all individually, and said it in the nicest way. They hope to meet you all again, but preferably in a better situation than where your friendship began. And yeah, so that leaves you all with your new companion, your new party member called Io. And what we're going to do, we're going to have a bit of role playing now as you talk to each other. And what I'm going to do is throw some topics out into the arena for you all to talk about. As if you're sat round a table, there's a regular incoming of anything that you drink, whether or not it's just pure water or alcohol or whatever, that's coming. And it's an opportunity for people to share what they believe, talk about any part of their backstory that they want to talk about, or to put any new pieces of information in. So, yeah, so I will hand over to you. Minsk, you are the captain. So it seems fair for you to start off and to welcome Io into the group.
Yeah. So Minsk, being his usual handsome, devilish self.
Oh, this is a lady as well.
It's a lady.
Uh-oh.
Lady.
Captain. Who's our HR? We need
yeah,
HR. in
we
this
need
situation.
HR.
I think he's the HR.
He'll go up to Io and he'll just bow his head and hold out his hand and gently take her hand and say, "Welcome aboard, Io. I hope you're going to be. Well, I think you're going to be a great asset to this ship. I mean, it's not much, but your friends letting us keep it for a while. So, yeah, let's do good things and make some money. And more importantly, sorry,
I was just staring at the ward and the Black Suns as they walk away, almost. And then, yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'd like to find out what happened to ourselves. But you know, in the meantime, we can do great things and hopefully benefit that little girl. So glad to have you aboard.
Right, yeah, the little girl. Yeah, it'll be an interesting. This will be a new assignment for me. I'm really looking forward to a new start.
So
that's great. Insight check. You don't want to be here.
Give her a handshake. Perception.
Let's talk about core. Because you each have, beforehand, you each told me how your what you think of core, how you interact with them, and it'd be a good opportunity for you guys to share with Io what your opinions about core are, and also for Io to talk about what she thinks of core, etc. Yeah. So anybody can go first. I'm quite happy.
Well, Newman absolutely hates core. They're corrupt. They're the epiphany of evil in his eyes, and that was made true by, oh God, what was her name? Was it Tiffany? Not Tiffany. Oh, come on.
This is why I
Melanie
drink
Fish. Melanie Fish.
Yeah.
Melanie
Who
Fish.
worked for Core and who was horrible.
Yeah.
But no, he doesn't like it. Core have been central to many of Minsk's failed export-import businesses.
Is that another word for smuggling?
It possibly could be, but no, he hates them. That's Minsk's view on Core.
Well, they've stolen all of mine.
Oh, that was it. That's the voice.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
That's the voice.
You're
yeah.
Sean Connery.
That's right.
the Sean who? I don't know. Sorry, my voice is trying to get better.
Rifle.
A bloody sniper rifle, lad. I'm not much of a fan of Core. They stole all of my devices and my plans. I was hoping that maybe we can get some of them back. Now that we have a ship, Captain.
So Hammond used to work for Core. Just so people know, Core's the Corporation of Research and Exploration. I put it in the chat as well. Didn't Hammond used to work for Core?
Yeah, he was one of their top engineers, but then some negative things may have happened. They kind of went their separate ways, but all of his life's work and whatnot are under the ownership of Core, and he doesn't really enjoy that because it's his life's work.
Okay. So what about you, Newman? What's your opinions and thoughts about Core?
He bought a shotgun from them, but it didn't have a warranty, and so he's just really angry. He's just really the trigger is really jiggly,
itchy.
Yeah,
maybe we should go with that instead of the truth.
And there's no refund policy.
So what is the truth, Newman?
Newman doesn't have as strong of opinions as his comrades. And to be fair, his opinions aren't all that strong to begin with, beyond like all they do is get in the way of the law. They held me back and then corrupted me in different ways. They don't have a good idea of how things should be.
Yeah, and I think it's worth saying at that point that within the universe, there is Core, who is a huge corporation, but the law enforcement is governed by a corporation called SHIELD. And so even though Core sometimes believe they are the law, technically that is not the case. So, Io, what do you feel would be Io's opinion about Core, this mega corporation that seems to run the whole of the universe like some kind of empire?
I think Io firsthand experience doesn't have a whole lot with Core, but from some contacts and friends that have worked with Core have had bad experiences, and because of that, she has had a bit of a tick almost of a necessity to dive into anything that Core does and try to find information and blackmail and all sorts of fun stuff about Core
Nice.
to divulge all their secrets.
And like an expose. And so
Yep.
like, yeah, nice. I like it. Okay, then. Next topic. Should your group obey the law and be lawful, or is there room to wiggle and become unlawful? Newman?
First off, we are the law. Second off, that means we are the law. We are the ones that uphold things. We know what's right.
So
Sure.
anything we do, Newman, is what you're suggesting here, is that anything we do is technically in the formations of the law, so we can't do any wrong.
In the sense of if we buy illegal ammo, that
It's
is
to benefit
used
the
to
law.
uphold. Exactly. Hammond knows how I
Oh,
operate.
yes. Yeah, we may steal someone for interrogation reasons, but that's just to
Well,
uphold the law, right?
I don't know about that, Hammond.
I'm
Your
just-
devices aren't very ethical when it comes to interrogation.
You're talking about the ways I do things and my literal devices. Not very ethical. They might blow a leg off here and there, but nonetheless, they put of the
Way
law.
too many
Am I
drills.
correct?
You don't need drills to interrogate somebody.
What?
Depends on how many appendages they have, lad.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to get. I'm just going to Io and Minsk. Are you lawful, or are you willing to, just manipulate that law to your own ends? Minsk or
Well,
Io?
Minsk is very much he does the right thing. If bending a few corners on the way to doing the right thing helps, that's what he does. I mean, he helped the girl, but on the way to that, I think we did some pretty odd things that we shouldn't have done. But he's a smuggler. He's a party, so he has gone against core. He won't do anything
Illegal?
No, he just thinks it's illegal. He won't do anything to hurt people unnecessarily.
So he's not malicious.
He's not malicious, but he will go out to help his friends, and he'll do anything he can to help his friends. And also, if that makes him a bit of coin in the meantime, who's complaining?
Nice.
Certainly
Io,
not.
Io, where do
Sounds like
you
a-
stand?
I was gonna say, sounds like a scruffy nerf herder.
I am just that thing.
Io, if there's a means to an end, she'll do it. So, she doesn't like to outright hurt people either in a malicious way, but unless they're core, or unless they've hurt someone that she cares about. But she's willing to bend the rules and use the rules to her advantage.
Nice. Nice. Okay, then. People, are you out for wealth or fame? Do you want to be known
What?
for your deeds, or do you want a lot of money?
Why can't we do both?
You can do both if you wish.
There we go.
I need the
But-
wealth in order to give me the options to make more things.
Yeah.
Make me
Um,
famous.
I might find what happened to us, and also to make a name for us.
Of course.
And
yes.
if myself, I get famous in the meantime, which I think I probably already am.
You probably
That'd be
are,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
A name for what? A name for doing what?
But being the best at what I do,
A pilot.
a pilot,
Yeah.
somebody who saves people, somebody who
All right.
get you
yeah.
what you want.
Nice.
Hmm.
Anyone
But
else?
In the meantime, yeah,
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Go for it.
that's fine.
Okay. The rest of you, wealth or fame?
I think neither. Newman doesn't really care about those things. He wants enough money that he can continue to drink his synthetic soy beer, but beyond like survival, he is obsessed with upholding the law. Doesn't matter if he becomes famous or infamous or becomes a nobody that dies quietly. He's here to uphold the law.
Protect the innocent?
Yes, that's a greater prize than wealth or fame.
Yeah. So would Newman help somebody that had no money? So
Yes.
if somebody came along and offered you a job but said, we really need you to do this, but we haven't got any money.
That's why Newman has comrades who just don't authorize that. They say, no, Newman, we have to do this, and then maybe we can get to that.
Got you. So
Newman isn't exactly like a super smart person. He's just very focused on his goal and his morals that he believes are right.
Brilliant.
Low aspirations, I guess.
Yeah. No, but I can see how it fits in nicely with the party. Io, wealth or fame?
Wealth can get her wherever she wants to go. Travel space, get to experience different worlds, different people. And fame, no thank you.
Incognito.
Yeah. She's experienced stuff like that before, and no thanks.
Oh yeah. Hammond, wealth or fame?
It's not necessarily fame, it's legacy. I want to leave a
Ooh.
legacy for myself. I'm, not too many years left under the belt now, but I feel like if I'm able to get some of my plans back, I'm able to use it and create devices and create technologies that'll benefit more than just me. And I'll be known as the man who makes society more advanced.
Yeah. Seeing
That's what
your
I want.
evade roll, I think you got a lot at the end. Might be pretty soon. Might be pretty soon. Okay, then.
Yes.
So that's giving you an idea of each other, and hopefully that will you'll continue to develop your interpersonal skills with your rest of your party. But before we go on, we need to decide where you would like to stay in Sothis's starport or the surrounding areas. Now, you do have a wealth skill. Okay, so that wealth skill, I'll add or subtract from that. So when you get paid, I'll put percentages into that skill. That then, of course, increases your lifestyle, if you remember. But when we're looking at accommodation, then you can choose, and I'll give you a percentage price. So rather than saying it's 6,000 UN or 42 credit, I'll say it's 1 percentage point. So you know how much wealth you've got. Just so you know, where you decide to stay impacts on the next adventure. So there is a reason for it. So you have the following choices where you can stay, okay? And just to let you know, each location, each wealth percentage is for 1 week staying there. Okay, so the first place you can stay is actually on your ship, okay? That means that you will not have any costs at all. You will be paying from this point onwards, when you go to the next starport or to the next part of the adventure. But the Sons of Black Star have made sure that it's fueled for you and done for 1 week. After 1 week, if you're still on planet and still alive, then you will be paying wealth points. Just to remind you that only one person needs to pay that wealth point. It's not 1 each or anything like that for your ship. Okay, so the second place that you can actually rent a room at the starport. These are fondly known as capsules. Okay, they are for 1 person only, and there's multiple capsules stacked one on top of each other. You access them via side ladders. The front opens, you crawl into it, you seal it at night, and you sleep in the capsule. There is a minimum amount of space for personal items. They're clean and hygienic, but that's about it. They have a communal wash and bathroom area. And if you would like to stay in one of those, and each one of you can have a different location if you wish, that will cost you 1% of wealth per week. Okay, so just 1%, and you get that for the week. There are, away from the starport, but still within the grounds of the starport, there is one hotel style place of accommodation. It has both single and twin rooms, but these cost a little bit more, and they'll cost 2 wealth points per week. If you have a twin room, then it'll cost each of you 1 point to make up the 2. Okay. These are ensuite bathrooms. There's no cooking facilities or anything like that. People just eat at the bars and the restaurants within the starport area. They're clean and they're a lot more personal. You have a lockable door. There's no windows or anything like that. There's a bigger place to keep equipment, etc., etc. And then finally, you have the option of what can only be said are trailers outside the starport. So this is an area where it's a bit like a trailer park, and these are self-contained trailers. They can have up to all of you living in it if you wish, but it's up to you. Each one of them has a portable airlock on the door. So the inside, the actual trailer is actually maintained. They're a bit made out of like plastic, PVC, have PVC windows, etc. They're sturdy, i.e. they're not going to blow away or anything like that. And they do have their own Wi-Fi connection and aircon. Okay, so the air is purified in there, and like I said before, there is an airlock, so you can make sure there's that space to put your masks on before you go out. But they are outside the starport, and they cost, just for one, 10% per week. But like I say, you can all stay in that, or 2 of you can stay in, or 1 of you can stay in. It's completely up to you. So capsules in the starport: 1, hotel style, single and twin room; 2, outside trailers; 3, 10%. Yeah, go for it.
Past experience of living in a outside trailer, which was really a container, was
It was 2 containers fused together.
It was true, wasn't it? But people knew where we were. They put bombs there. They put snipers there to get rid of us. I'm not paying to live in a plastic bubble outside where if it gets popped by something, we die on the inside. So yeah. And personally, I don't want to pay to live in a hotel or the little bubble that's a star, but I'd rather stay in the ship where we can do some work and things. And I mean, this is my personal opinion, but we can, we've got our own space. I can use my toilet without feeling uncomfortable.
How are you not sick of your ship? We've been in it, carrying dangerous cargo. I want to go to a hotel and enjoy a little bit of nightlife.
As you're saying that, you can see Minsk stroking the control panel.
Oh, no.
Because he's not had a ship for a while. It's like,
well, that's fair, but I don't need to pet greasy ship turret parts. I'm going to go to a hotel and enjoy our time away from danger. It's a big relief to me to not have that girl on the ship anymore, the ward.
She was all right. She was lovely.
Yeah, but we had people coming after us. It was dangerous every second she was on our ship.
But that wasn't her fault, was it?
We got carjacked. Because of this girl.
But that's not her fault. That's other people's fault.
They stole my farmer shotgun.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did.
I'm
often
not
bitter about it. I just want to go to a hotel and maybe enjoy nightlife.
I think
Newman,
Minsk.
I promise you, I will get you another farmer shotgun. And I'll pat
I often think that every time the wards mention Minsk, the strokes his cheek slightly from
I do. It's like, yeah, from that scar, from that kicking.
yeah, foot in your face, I think it was.
Stomped in the
Yeah.
face.
So Minsk is staying on ship. Totally understand that. You've been without your ship for a huge amount of time, and now you've got another one. You probably want to inspect every part of it.
Gosh, yeah.
Make sure everything's to your high level of satisfaction and standard. Okay, Newman, you are going hotel. So I presume a single room.
Yeah, because nobody wants to stay with Newman.
And
he plans on getting back to the room late at night each night.
Okay, so
Crash.
you
Very
will
promiscuous.
You will reduce your wealth by 2% for this first week. Io, what's going to be your plan?
I don't know.
You do have wealth on your sheet, don't you?
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
saw
right.
you added that since
Yeah.
last I was on.
Capsule, hotel, trailer outside, or starship. Completely.
I think she's gonna pick the starship because she's been on the planet long enough.
Yeah, right. So she's a little bit fed up of it, etc. Yeah. So there's berthing rooms on there that you can be. So you can hang out with Minsk, exchange stories, etc.
There's so much new stuff to explore on the ship.
Yeah, very nice. So yeah, that sounds good. Hammond, you're the last one.
Hammond's probably also going to stay on the ship because he's tinkering things that might not be necessarily legal on this planet. And so
please do not break Minsk's ship.
No. He's just tinkering. It's a controlled environment.
Minsk.
We all
it's
wake
the
up with
engineering
amnesia.
quarters, and there's supposed to be a lot of engineering be happening
Yeah,
there.
that controlled environment is called an airlock.
Yeah.
The last time he tinkered, you lost your whole ship, and maybe that's something that Minsk suddenly remembers. Hammond saying, "Don't worry, I'll just have a tinker."
I wonder if the yellow wire goes here. No.
And the whole
never combine orange and yellow. It's always red and yellow.
A ship goes. Okay, then. So, people on ship, your wealth can stay. Newman, yours will go down 2%. Take it off now. You're going to be here for a week. I guarantee it. So you obviously decide to eat off the ship, and you're in a quite open space in the airlock, in the starport. It seems to be almost like the gathering area, the central hall, and there's lots of restaurants roundabout, and drugstores and ammunition, etc., and you're just sort of like sat al fresco outside the restaurant, but you're safely inside the airlock, and that's it. And your seat means that you are quite close to the airlock that goes to the outside world. And while you're chilling and exchanging stories of your past exploits, what you've done, what you remember, laughing at the good times, being sad over and being miserable of the loss of guns, etc., you're generally enjoying some downtime when you notice the outside airlock opens. Now, this is quite unusual because it hasn't opened for a significant period of time. It's about 7 o'clock at night. So outside this area, it is dark. The moon's out, but it's still dark, and there's only sort of like individual lights on the trailers, and that's about it. The other really interesting thing is you notice that she staggers in, and she has on her face mask. Okay, and she has that on as she stumbles in virtually. Just one of you make for me a roll a 1d100. Roll your a 1d100, and we see who notices something in particular. Anybody can roll it. 81. So would 81 succeed in anybody's perception?
No. I'm sorry, guys. Should have been a better one.
Well, but what you could do, if you wish, Hammond, you could use a point of luck and reverse it.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reverse it. 18.
So 18, I assume all of you will notice at that level. So she sort of like staggers in, and you notice that it is as if she was stood at the airlock against the door waiting for it to open. So when the airlock actually made that sound and open, she literally sort of like lurched into the central area, and she pulls off her face mask, and you sort of hear the as it comes off, and she seems to be, from your perception roll, she seems to be breathing really heavily, and she has this wild look in her eyes, and she scans round the room rapidly and sees you all sat there. Before I go further, is Perdi with you or not?
Yeah, she knows
Perdi's
talk
always
radio
with us.
stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And so this woman sort of like looks around and then sees you, and she's not running as if she recognizes you, maybe because she doesn't recognize you. And she comes
How defensive.
she comes staggering across, and you notice that as she moves towards you, she appears to be lurching from side to side as if she's drunk for one. It could be that she's drunk. However, as she
Lack
gets
of oxygen, so I'm going to get up and I'm going to quickly grab her and put her on my seat. And make sure she's okay.
So as you grab her and put you onto the seat, she grabs your arm and your hand, and she puts something in it, and then she claps her hands over that. Does that make sense? So she's got both hands over it, and still you notice now that she's closer. Her eyes are bloodshot. She's sweating and perspirating huge amounts. She looks very flushed.
Perdi, come and have a look at this lady. She seems to be very ill.
Of course,
and she's
Mr.
trying to
Minks.
give me her comms number.
I can have a look by all means, although this is a very undesirable place to carry out a medical examination.
Just do it.
And so she comes across, and as Perdi's moving around, this woman looks you straight in the eyes, and she says in a rather husky, almost like whispering voice, she says, "Take this." And then there's some heavy breathing, and she says, "Save my daughter, please." And then as Perdi appears and starts looking at her and carrying out various scans, you notice, Minsk, because you're close, the woman's eyes roll backwards in her head, and she collapses to the floor, and she releases her grip on you. And let me just make a roll for Perdi. Would you like her to make a medicine roll or first aid roll?
Medicine.
Medicine.
Okay, so it'll just take a little bit.
So I think everyone said first aid, so we need to.
It'll just take a little bit longer because she's sort of like that was good.
Perdi.
Yeah, she sort of like starts doing the scan. People, you notice that there's people looking around, and several people are sort of like looking over. Minsk, there appears to be a data chip in your hand.
No problem. I'm going to put that in my pocket for the time being.
What would everybody like to do?
Is there anybody that like Newman would want to look to see if there's anybody chasing her, or go to the
Yeah.
airlock and glance out and kind of do
Makes
a
sense.
recon? Could he use perception or
Yeah, go for it.
okay. Perception? I'm kind of good at it.
Nice.
Got 39 out of a 63.
Yeah. So that allows you to roll succeed as a hard rating. So you get the following information. You notice that just when all the attention is on this woman and she's doing these actions and Perdi's doing her speech and coming around, Newman, almost like due to your professionalism, what you're used to doing, you glance over at the airlock to see, you know, if anybody's pursuing her. You're not too sure if they were pursuing her, but 3 people come through the airlock. They all have their face masks on, but they can wear normal clothes. It's only the atmosphere. It's not corrosive or anything like that or depressurized. And you notice that they're wearing what can only be seen as black corporate suits. They're not core. There's no core insignia on. But they seem to be, from your hard perception roll, they seem to be maybe private security. And as they come in, they see the woman being helped up to the chair by Minsk. And you notice, and this is from your hard, that one of them seems to talk into maybe an earpiece or communication. They don't even take their masks off. You notice they're wearing gloves, and they sort of like say something in the communication, and then they immediately turn around and leave via the airlock. Perdi turns round to you, Minsk, and says, I do believe she's been poisoned.
Can you cure her?
Say again, sorry, what did you say?
Can you cure her?
Oh, and yeah, and this is the strange thing. And she says, Perdi says, I am unfamiliar with this kind of poison. It does not seem to register on any of my data banks or data systems. It seems to be coming out as unknown.
Well, maybe give her some adrenaline just to keep her going, her heart fighting.
Perdi sort of like looks at you with his with her blank face and says, Mr. Minsk, when I was unaware of your medical credentials. However, you might be aware that if I give a shot of anything and we do not know the poison, it might be that it counteracts it or could be actually makes her worse.
Well, I didn't know that. I've just seen it on some holovids.
Oh, and she
They
starts
do that. They put this thing in, and it starts them.
really, Mr. Minks, you really need to start watching more educational program. I hear that the National Geographical Society does a wonderful regular vid.
Yeah, there's no fun in that, though. You don't see people running around with guns, do you? In those, no.
So,
Sorry, Perdi.
somebody
I tried to help.
Somebody, sorry, I'm just laughing at Darth in the chat. Says Minks read it on a beer mat. Yeah. Anybody else want to say or do anything?
Perdi, how about this? You give me the information for the poison. Maybe I can look on Corge, the banks, and see if maybe that you might have some information on it. I'll go from there.
Yeah. So she doesn't know what the poison is.
No.
She says, "One moment, I will do some further scans." And at this point, you notice one of the bystanders comes across and says, "Don't worry, I've phoned for the medics. I've phoned for the medics."
No good.
Oh, she doesn't look good. Do you think she snuffed it?
Shift what?
As in dead, as in heart stopped, as in given up. Boy, she looks a bit sweaty, if you ask me.
Right, thank you, kind
Right.
sir. If you want to just take a few steps back, so this lady comes some air.
She looks like she needs more than needs more than air, mister.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed she doesn't.
There's going to be a period of time before the medics actually arrive. So if anybody would like to do any actions or any skills, it's up to you.
I'd like to see and roll a perception to see if I see the same thing Newman does.
Yeah.
Or unless Newman says something.
If anybody's like looking over his way, anybody could see that Newman is like a dog on the trail of us, and like he's glaring at them and doing a face like,
Okay, so Io, roll your perception check. Yeah.
Oof.
You do not see them at all. Did you notice, by the way, that there's an augmentation button now? Can you see at the top? You can roll it with augmentation, so it actually says how much of that skill. So you're probably more concerned with what's going on. What did you roll? An 88. So you could use a point of luck if you wish to re-roll it.
No, I'm just gonna leave it as is.
Okay.
And then instead she'll see if there's anything else on her, like go through her pockets and stuff.
Okay, yeah. So Io starts to search the body, and you quite strangely, she appears to have no other item of equipment at all. She has her face mask, the oxygen cylinder on her belt, and this data chip that she gave to you, Minsk. That's it. She's wearing normal clothes, but the clothes don't look posh or anything like that. And just as we go for the break, Perdi comes up with an answer, and she turns to you, Minsk, and says, "Mr. Minks, I think you should know something."
Yes, Perdi.
I found out what poison it is. Well, not really found out what sort of poison, but almost like the type of poison.
Well, go ahead, Perdi.
Peanuts.
Mr. Minsk, she appears to be radioactive.
Oh,
And at that point, we will go for our break. So we'll have a 15-minute break. We'll come back to about 13 minutes to the hour. So as the party can have a think of what's happening. Newman, if there's anything else you can do. So Daft has said in the chat, well, run. Yeah, that's it. And that's it. We'll come back to this scene, and we'll come back straight to you, Newman, because you had that piece of information a little bit before. So we'll have a 15-minute break. Go away, stretch your legs, grab yourself a drink. I'm going to have to make some decaf coffee or something, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. See you then. say what you want to say in any case.
Do you know what that means?
He's
Flirt,
a
laugh,
cute.
live.
Yeah.
It's what, sorry?
Pint, it's pints and quarts. It's for
Pints and
drinking.
Really?
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Well then,
What's your pints and quarts?
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Not
remember
heard
that.
that before, yeah.
Mr. Pickles, we're coming straight back to you. So Perdi has just announced that this poison seemed to be radioactive. And Newman, you had seen these three people, black corporate suit people. Io had been looking over in that direction as well, but got distracted by something or didn't see them as they left the compound, left the starport. So yeah, Newman, let's come straight to you. What would you like to do?
First off, a question. When we were getting acquainted, did we all share our comms numbers so that we can call each other?
Yes, definitely.
Because Newman wants to get the attention of Io, but he doesn't want to do like a loud noise or say, "Hey, help me follow these corporate guys." So if he can, he'd like to do a quick like call to Io or send a message or something.
You can send it a text to her, or you could do it subvocally. That's totally all right as well.
Vocally, that I like that. That sounds like science fiction. So
Yeah.
it'll be a message to Io saying, Charisma 7.
What is that?
Christmas 7?
Newman has a charisma of 7. Apparently, so do I.
I thought you
no,
said.
He'll be like,
I thought you said Christmas.
Yes, mine did too.
Christmas.
Like that's some new slur. There's some new
It's a space slur. And he
God,
goes,
yeah,
Oh,
Christmas
that means
7.
go this way. That's a code word.
I'll follow me. These guys are up to trouble. And that'll just be the weirdly cryptic message.
Okay.
She'll just drop the body and like walk over.
Yeah. Medics are coming in any case. So Newman and Io, you get to the airlock. Do you just want to look through the airlock, or do you actually want to put your face masks on and go outside the airlock?
I'm tailing. And I'm hoping Io is following and also tailing.
Sure.
Okay. So there's a bit of a delay as you get into the airlock. You attach your face mask, make sure there's an oxygen flow. And then there's that lovely psst sound as the outside and this inside of the airlock make sure that the pressure is all the same. And then the outside doors open. And as you step outside, you do feel a little bit strange in the atmosphere because, of course, there's thin air, which means air resistance is slightly less. So you feel a little bit almost like lightheaded or light movement to start off with, but you slowly correct it and compensate for it. And there's two things that you can see directly outside, and I'll give you them both, and then I'm going to nip back inside and come to you, Minsk, after the explanation from Perdi. Okay, so the first thing you can see is a badly parked hover vehicle, speeder sort of car. You notice that the engine is still running. It's not parked in its right spot. It's parked over on one side. The door is still open. It's almost like got a DeLorean door that comes up. That's still open, and so inside the pressure in there has gone. It's just like the thin atmosphere, but that's there. And the other thing that you see, it appears to be some kind of black, not van. It looks almost like some kind of modern equivalent of a Range Rover or something like that. It's it's not actually hover power, it's actually drive power. But you do notice that it's going off at quite a speed. You've probably got one thing that you can do with it at this distance before it will be out of range to see or interact with. So I'll leave that with Io and Newman and come back inside to you, Minsk and Hammond. So Perdi states that the poison is actually radioactive in some description.
If the medical people are coming over, I'm going to turn to Perdi and say, relay all the information you have on this victim to these people here.
I also told Perdi, do you happen to have any iodine with you?
She sort of like looks at it and says, why, do you have an open and gashed wound?
Iodine can be used as a suppressant for radioactive activity within the body, but it might be too late for the little lad or little lass right now.
You hear that the medics are sort of like running up. They've got one of those huge backpacks on, like the air ambulance people have, and they're rushing up, and all of a sudden the comms comes in from Perdi, and you notice that they both sort of like look at each other and start to almost like back away, and one of them shouts, please move away from her. We need special gear to deal with this.
I'll gently lay her down on the floor and move away.
Does do scanners have radioactive what are they called? Essentially meters.
Geiger counters.
Do the scanners that we have that function?
Yeah.
Can I scan the device that she gave Newman? No, not Newman. Minsk. She gave him something in his hand.
Yeah, not really, because it's in my pocket. I stuck it into my pocket, so you.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, scan his pants.
Never mind. That's the odds. Something's going off right here.
Yeah. Dang.
And at some point, there's a bit of a disturbance now, as what the medic has said is causing a bit of panic, and there's people trying to get out of restaurants and everything, and there's that awful personal announcement system saying, please remain calm. Please remain calm and vacate to your own residence. Please remain calm. And there's people sort of like dashing away, knocking over old ladies and everything like that. And the medics have seemed to have put on some kind of hazmat suit that was in their backpacks, and they're pulling down full facial hoods and pulling on gloves, etc. And they come over to her, and you can see that they're in some kind of communication between themselves, probably on their own personal network. And you can see them, Minsk and Hammond, that they're exchanging glances. And soon they are calling in again, and another team arrive, which appears to be something like a stretcher with almost like a bag on top of it. And they start to maneuver this woman onto the bag and then lift it round and zip it up. It's not like a dead bag.
Okay. Like, wow. Very presumptive.
It looks like it's more maybe have some radiation shielding on something or something like that in case of emergency. And she looks pretty much comatose, Minsk. After giving you that thing and collapsing, she looks pretty much out of it. Anything that you or Hammond would like to
do? While this is going on, I've backed away from her. And I'm looking around to see where Io and Newman are.
Okay. Just as you do that, before we move over to Io and Newman, who are outside, Hammond and Minsk, could you make me, please, an endurance check.
No,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
don't want to.
I don't, yeah.
Oh no. I
Point,
Yes.
point of
I'm going
look
to use a
time.
point of look and reverse that. Yes, to
Yeah.
35.
Okay, so you both failed at no, sorry.
Herculean, your limbs are glowing.
Yes, thank you very much. You both
Help me, I'm melting.
you both succeed. Perdi, of course, doesn't need to make endurance check due to radiation in her current form. Newman and Io, you're outside. What would you like to do?
Can am I within range? Well, there's to pick up their computer or their comms. Like, would she know that?
You can always roll your comms to try to number one, to see whether or not they are on a personal communication, and then secondly, whether or not you can hack into it. Yeah, so roll your comms. Nice.
Ooh.
Okay, so they do have a comm system that you manage to actually get some kind of background chatter. There's two pieces of information that you find as you listen in, and at the end of this, they slowly go out of range. They seem to be reporting to someone that something went wrong. They don't seem to be mentioning any names or situations, but you hear the exchange of conversation that says things like, "That is a negative. There is a negative on that cause," so forth and so on. And they seem to be saying that something's gone wrong and there's been a negative reaction. The other thing that you pick up is that they're actually communicating, but within themselves, but also to somewhere else on the planet. You're not too sure where, but there's definitely another communicating part to the conversation, and you can tell from your comms roll that it's coming in from somewhere else. They seem to be Io, incredibly professional. They don't seem to be mentioning names. They don't seem to be mentioning locations or anything like that. Very professional, not corporate, probably more security or even maybe shield themselves. Yeah, so when IO's doing that, Newman, what's going to be your plan?
I would like to try and use my comms. I'm assuming my comms device is like a smartphone of some kind. It has like a camera on it. I can probably try and take pictures.
Yeah, you can use a variety of things to take pictures, but yeah, you can take a snap if you wish. What would you like to snap at?
Well, I'm thinking I might have to use my slight professional skill because I'm good with my hands. I deal the cards for our group whenever we play poker. Since this car is driving off, I really want to get like a clear photo as quick as possible of like the license plate or the back of the vehicle.
Nice. Yeah.
As much as I could to be able to identify or track these, or have somebody smarter identify and track these.
Got ya. Okay then. So roll your sleight of hand then.
All of the cards are in my hand.
Ooh, 17. Yeah, you was that your sleight of hand or your streetwise?
Oh, that was my streetwise. Oh, that's not good.
You can you can keep you can keep the roll. I just need to know what your sleight of hand is. What's your?
It's 54.
It's 54.
They both start with a hard S.
Yes. So we'll take the 17. So you do get a clear shot of the vehicle, the back end of it, and it's definitely there. Definitely, you can see it. However, it has no reg plates on or anything like that. Remember, most things will have identification on, but their personal identifier, that'll be picked up with speed cameras, etc., is sort of like broadcast openly. Or if it doesn't have one of those, it actually means that it's hidden. And so getaway vehicles, but you do get a clear picture of it, but it has no registration on it at all. There's still this other vehicle out here. Io, are you happy for anything that you find out? You just naturally communicate on comms, so the rest of the party knows what's happening. That's what they normally do, but
no, she'll do that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify one thing, Arthur. Did they say anything about the group?
Oh, about you guys?
Yeah,
no.
okay.
If anything, you probably capture something like she went to bystanders, or she went to random people. There's no sort of like talk about you or your group in particular.
We just have to be very lucky to have this start.
What do you say?
I'm just saying we're very lucky. That's all.
Don't make me roll. Don't make me roll.
We got the
first
MacGuffin.
award, now a radiated lady.
Yeah. I can ask for another endurance check.
So I think Io will then if Newman says that he wasn't able to get any identification, she'll pull out her scanner, her sensor scanner, and go towards the vehicle to see if there's any radiation coming from it.
Okay. So this is the badly parked vehicle, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay then. So roll your sensor skill for me. Oh, you're getting all the good Newman.
Jeez, I really am. That's
Newman,
just one
this
up
is
from the
what
last
you
one.
want. You need.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's why I called for her to join me. Like, I know she has talent. She clearly
Don't jinx it now.
That's it. Okay then. So two things. There is some kind of radiation in this car. There's not a huge amount. The source of the radiation is not this car. There seems to be some residual amounts of it on the seat where you assume that the woman was sat. But the interesting thing, and you were successful, your sensors does not know what has caused this radiation. So it's almost like saying this is radiation, and it might sort of like say, oh, it's an isotope of uranium-238 or something like that. When it sort of like scans it, it comes up with radiation, and then it says source unknown.
Right.
And so there doesn't seem to be, this is nothing about your role. Your role is fine, and it would normally have told you. But it's almost as if, and you know this as your character, the substance is not on the databases.
Are we hearing this over comms?
Yeah, I always saw like passing it out.
Minsk is going to say, can you get an ID on the vehicle to find out who owns it or where it's come from?
Well, maybe I can do this. If I go over there, maybe I can try to hack the computer system inside, and from there, maybe I could figure out if there's any GPS. Maybe we could figure out where the call came from.
That's a fantastic idea, but I'm more worried about the radiation. And if Io can do that from outside the vehicle,
of course, safety first. I get it every day.
Well,
make sure we don't blow up the bloody.
I might be able to hack the the computer from here. I might not need to go up to the car, the actual vehicle, and I might actually be able to hack the comms.
Fantastic. That's what I was
or the
hoping
car.
for.
That'd
Yeah.
be fantastic.
So
I don't have a clear idea of what you can do, IO, but what I've heard you just said, what you've done at the moment is astounding.
Yeah,
Beyond
I
my
have
ken.
the I
just
have
the tip of an iceberg.
I have I have a unique set of skills with computers and communications
And sensors.
Sounds very unique.
and sensors.
Perfect.
Oh,
So make me to get the identification of the build of the car. It's not hidden or anything. So you can actually turn on your sensors and get the ping from it. It's the owner of the car is registered to a Sioux parish. She is identified on the car. So when you gain a car, you put in your occupation, your age, etc., etc. Her occupation is down as scientist. And then there's just normal information about date of birth. She's about 32. She wasn't born on this planet. Make me a computer check. Yes. So interestingly enough, there's a part of the data that via your computer skill you can notice has been removed. It's been erased. So all the fields would normally be filled in, but there's one that has no information on, and it's to do with the date of renting the vehicle. It doesn't look like it's Sue Parish's vehicle. It looks like it's a rented vehicle, but the date or how long it's been rented out for has been erased. There's no data there at all.
just out of interest, is there a picture of Sue Parish?
Um,
Like a driving license sort of picture of.
Yeah, so on the actual identification, yes, there is, and it connects
It
to
matches with. Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
thank you.
So there is that connection B. So this is Sue Parish's car or speeder.
We just don't know how long it's been rented for, or how long she's had it.
Yeah, or you don't even know who it was rented from.
Is there like a destination log?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there would normally be a travel log. So it would say where the car's been, etc., etc. But that too is erased. It's gone.
Oh, you make this so hard for us.
All right.
3 weeks you said it was going to take. Oh, I don't think so.
What?
The only other option. The only other option at this point would be to check any cameras, any feed, any sort of CCTV feed. But I don't think there would be enough consistently to figure out where she came from.
There's no CCTV outside the starport.
All right.
You do have the data chip that you've got still.
That's not going to come out of my pocket till I'm back at the ship.
Yeah.
And at which point I will tell everybody that I have a data chip. But I won't say it over comms. I actually want to get with them and tell them.
Okay.
That face to face.
Yeah.
Because comms can be hacked.
Okay, then. So this might be an appropriate time to bring everybody back together, unless people wanted to do anything extra. The paramedics are taking Sue Parish away. Perdi reports to you, Minsk, that she's not dead. Sue Parish is not dead. She seems to be comatose, but still breathing. Her vital signs are quite low. And she's been taken to the local medic station or area here on Sothis. And I'm still trying to think of a name that does all the medic places everywhere. You know, a bit like Dock Wagon on.
Yeah,
but
Shadowrun.
yeah, but I haven't come up with a name that I like yet. So, but insert name, it's gone to their facility, so how I envisage the medical system in the campaign is that just like the shield constables in each station or everywhere, there is medics of various degrees. So on a planet like this, there will be a medic station, a hospital, but it won't have high-end equipment.
Free med.
I'm going to have a think, because then we can start to say whether or not I can't decide whether or not medicine is free or you have to pay for it, or somewhere in between. Does that make sense? I haven't thought about the implementation of it yet.
In my opinion, would be that it wouldn't be free, because for example, Core is itself a capitalist conglomerate.
Yeah.
Shield is also a conglomerate. It's not a government, it's a conglomerate. So I'd imagine that based on that, conglomerates only function as, capitalists, as
which case,
a way to get money.
Would they go, let's help this woman? Oh, hang on, no, she's not got the creds.
Well, there is that. And the other thing that I was coming into my head, and Hammond, my brain was working very much like yours. I was thinking, if the health system is corrupt and they wanted to this is how my brain works, by the way, trial out new drugs or new treatments. If it's free, can you see they've got that opportunity? They can actually do it, and it's almost like, yes, come to us, we are free. But
we
really,
can be the chimpanzees with the gross lipstick.
Yeah, but really and truly, there's an undercurrent of corporate nastiness, where some people go to hospital and accidentally die on the operating theatre. Do you know what I mean? And then I thought you could have some good guys and some bad guys, if that makes sense.
You could just call it Medicorp.
Call it Medivac. Sorry, did you say?
Yeah, Medivac. Yeah. the healing.
I like. I'm just writing some ideas out. Yeah, go for it.
Before we go to the ship, I would like Perdi to give myself and Hammond a cursory scan to make sure we're not
interesting,
taking any radiation with us.
Yeah, okay then. So Perdi just needs to roll her senses roll. She sort of like says to you that she thinks that you were not in contact with Sue Parrish for enough time to absorb any of the radiation that was coming off her. Does anybody have a science roll? Just out of interest. A knowledge skill, a science knowledge.
No, I just got corporate practices, my knowledge.
Okay, then. So
I have a research skill, but that's about it.
Yeah, so we could use the research skill in a second. She's just going to roll her medicine. Just like IO sensor came up with no information, an unknown substance, Perdi's getting the same response. It's definitely something radioactive and definitely something giving off radiation. The radiation seems to be more deadly the longer you are exposed to it. But the other thing is, and this is why she's not really overly concerned with either you, Minsk, or Hammond, is that the half-life of it tails off very quickly. So she does advise you to burn your clothes and have a good wash, though.
Yeah, but hey, no conditioner. Conditioner will keep the isotopes in your hair.
There talks a man of experience.
That's why he was green last week.
Yeah. Did you go to a Cinderella rave this week?
Why? Because I look like Prince Charming? Is that what you're suggesting?
No, I just thought it was the first Disney movie that came into. Shrek's is Shrek Pixar?
Yeah.
No, it's DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Toy
it's
Story.
Specifically,
Was it a Toy
it's
Story?
specifically
He looks more like Rapunzel.
Let it down, everyone. Let it down.
I was thinking Brave, but
Yes.
That was very brave of you to come up with that.
That is, especially seeing his token picture that he sent me, that you have a kilt on.
Oh yeah, I do have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good times.
And that's all I'm saying about that picture. That's it.
Yeah, but was there anything under the kilt?
I'm not going there. Okay, you are all back at the starship. Newman, I presume you're going back to the starship first.
yeah. Hey, I'll go with them. I'm still part of the crew, even though I'm spending the week drinking and partying. at my
Okay
hotel.
then. So
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
Does Perdi know what would be the half-life or the time it would take for this isotope to become deadly?
She's talking that exposure to it in double figures of hours. So like 10 hours or more. But because of the half-life, if you did 10 hours, then were away for an hour, it's probably fallen off by then. So it really needs long exposure to it. But when you move away from it, it soon filters off. So that should give you some ideas about the situation.
Exactly.
You've got this data chip, Minsk.
Yeah. So once we're back to the ship, I will show everybody the data chip. She gave me this. She thrust it into my hands, and I'm going to give it to. I'll give it to
you.
Well, I'll see. I'll say Io or Hammond. Which of you would be good to find out what's on this?
I
can help.
I can see if it's decrypted, or if it just has regular information on it. I can, if necessary, bypass any security that's on it.
Well, use something that's not hooked up to the our ship. Something.
I should be able to actually insert it into my wrist. So
it's not in.
Well, not my actual wrist, but like my.
Sorry, Medivac got really excited that there was cybernetics there.
No, I asked about cybernetics, and he's like, "Oh, that's too expensive and too classified and too high tech for you." And I'm like, "Gosh darn it!"
Yeah, too classified. And the other thing is, you remember talking about it, is G-Tech. G-Tech is lots of fun. Right, okay then. So straight off from the computer, just popping it into the memory card slot, there's 5 things that you can tell from it. Okay then. So the first thing is there are credits, the equivalent of 4% wealth. Okay. On the data chip. So you could download that 4% wealth and give it all to one person or share it out. It almost looks as if there's payment for something. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's a map. Okay, there's a map. It looks like it's a terrain map of this planet, but you're not too sure just from the first glance at it. Thirdly, there is some encrypted files. Okay, it's encrypted. It comes straight up as encrypted. And you don't mess with it at the moment, but you can, if you wish, you can either combine computer skills and try, and that's going to be an extended conflict pool that will a conflict pool that we'll talk about in a minute. Next thing, that's number 3. So number 4, there are a whole load of images, and the images appear to be of Sue Parish and a girl that seems to be about 7 or 8. There seems to be them, sat on a swingy chair on the porch of somewhere, or pointing down or cheering at a baseball game or something like that. There seems to be, there's only about 5 or 6 of them. There's not a whole gallery, but it seems to be some kind of precious memories, maybe, of the woman with what appear to be her daughter. And the 5th thing on the card, on the stick, or the data chip, sorry, is a digital business card of a person called Matthew Brock. It's a very simple business card. It's electronic, but it literally has, it's white. It has a gold line that seems to be drawn on it. On the top of the line is just read the words Matthew Brock in quite a heavy typeface, very bold, very prominent. And then over to one side of it, there seems to be an arrow, like an augmented reality QR code or something like that, that you can scan for further information. And that should be 5 things, yeah?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. It's 5 things. And she'll relay
Um,
this information, of course.
Yeah.
And I can help augment my computer skill if we want to try to get
Decrypt
in
those files.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea.
I also have a research skill that helped me look at the isotope and maybe, or the radioactive material.
Yeah. So do you want to research the frequency rave of it to see if there's anything out there?
Yeah, odds are, if it's see if it's something that's natural to this planet, so that way we know that at least we're in the right area, or something that maybe that was purposely, either injected or whatever into her.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah.
Got ya. So, and then IO, are you decrypting the files?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then. So for both of you, these are going to be conflict pools. So how conflict pools work is that you use a skill and you have a pool of points. Both your pools at this point will be based on your intelligence. So somewhere write down your intelligence. We're going to use it almost like as hit points to cross off. The idea is then what you do, for yours would be research, Captain, Hammond, and IO, yours would be computers. And what we do is that we both roll the skill. Whoever wins does 1d6 to the other person's conflict pool. Okay, now if you both get the conflict pool down to 0, you get the information. If the information gets you down to 0 first, you've worked all that time, but you haven't made any progress. You don't know what's out there. So just out of interest, each one of these has a time slot. So each one is 30 minutes. Okay, so we do a roll every 30 minutes. So let's decide basically on how many hours are we going to spend on this? Remember, it's gone 7 o'clock. It's probably about 9 o'clock-ish now. How many hours are you both willing to put into this? just to let you know, remember, if you go all night without a rest, then you roll your endurance. And if you fail that endurance roll, you get a level of fatigue. And that would then start to reduce your points. You can probably do it for like 4 hours. And
I was thinking until midnight, so 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah. So that would be like 6 rolls. Yeah.
I was thinking of 4. So
okay, so let's do captains first. Let's do your research skill. So what's your intelligence?
My intelligence is 16.
16. So that's your pool. Okay, and let me just write down my pool. Okay, so let's start off. Let me just, I've got an GM character sheet that I can use for this. Actually, it's got an acting skill on it.
All right. Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, hang on.
Acting skill.
Yeah, I don't know why I've got an acting skill.
To be or not to be?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, then. So we're going to 6 rolls, yeah? 6 rolls. Okay, so let's do the first roll. Okay, so you can go first. I like you. So you fail, and I fail at the same time. so that's fine. Nothing goes on there. So that's the first roll.
I just remember my password. That's all.
Yeah, we got 6 rolls. So roll number 2. Off you go.
Yeah.
So I have succeeded there. So you are going to take 5 points off your intelligence.
Okay.
Remember, once your conflict pool comes down to halfway, as it passes halfway, your chance of successing is then hard. So that's 1 hour done. Okay, then. So next one. Oh, fumble, rumble.
We're not getting this information, guys.
So therefore, let's see what I get. Okay, I succeed, but because you fumbled, you're going to take 4 points because you take double the amount, so 4 points off. That's 1.5 hours. Yep, next one. Off you go. Tell me when you get down to 0.
All right.
Oh,
jeez.
Right.
All right.
I succeed. You take 3 points. That's 2 hours up. Okay.
Oh, so it's 4.
What you down to now?
I'm at 4.
So that's more than halfway, is it?
Yeah, more than halfway. Yeah.
So you're now on hard.
Okay.
4.5 hours. Nothing happens.
Getting nothing.
I get nothing. That's 5 hours. So this is the last hours. The last hour now. Off you go. Oh, you succeed. Yay!
Well, let's see.
I win. So you take 4 points.
All right, I'm out.
Okay, so after 3 hours of work, you come up with nothing. At the moment. Nothing comes on your scanner. You can't figure out. It could be that information technically is not out there, but no matter what, you did not find anything. How are you going to report back to the crew?
Sure, I've been researching as much as I can, but I can't seem to find it. I'll try back tomorrow. But you got any anything found on your computers?
I haven't hacked it yet, but I have a question. And was if I wait until the morning and get help from Hammond, does that change the intelligence pool at all?
so what happens? It doesn't change the intelligence pool, but what it changes is your dice roll. So if Hammond, if you if in your top black bar, this is for everyone, you know, on your character sheet, there should be something that says augmentation. And that's what makes it come up. It should be set. So Hammond, what's your computer skill? What's your computer skill? Not
62.
so that would be 12%. So he will actually add 12% to your dice rolls. So it's still the same pool, but you have a bigger skill.
Yeah, I think she'd wait till the morning then.
Say again, sorry. I heard you, Tex. I didn't hear Minsk.
Augmentation set the 0. You put the 12% in the 0, do you?
It should do it automatically. Let me just
gonna try and see what happens. System 66.
No, that's what's that is for. If you put it in as prompt, if you change it to prompt, it will ask you to enter a role if it's augmented.
Right, gotcha.
Okay, but there is somewhere, if you look at Tech's roll, can you see where he rolls? He actually has an X. Just roll one of your skills, Tex. Doesn't matter which one.
Okay.
Can you see he has the augmentation at the top?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Yes.
But you guys don't have that.
Weird.
So I think I need to find it because I've obviously turned it on for him, but not for the rest of you. But we'll sort that out. So yes, so you can, if you wish, do it the next morning. Is that going to be the plan, or do you want to?
Yeah, because Hammond said he also has skills with computers, I think she would prefer to team up with someone.
Okay, then.
And be as efficient as possible.
Okay, then. So that's the encryptic files. Is there anything else you would like to do, Io? Hammond, you're busy trying to find this radioactive, or anybody else. The rest of you got like 3 hours still to before you catch up with Hammond. So is there anything that you would like to do at all?
I'm having a long shower. I'm burning my clothes.
I wondered what you were going to say then. I really did wonder what you're going to say.
Minsk is showering because Perdi said to shower. So he's doing that and washing his clothes.
Nice.
No conditioner.
No conditioner.
And
No.
Newman and Io, is there anything you would like to do?
Newman wants to get a game of cards going, as is his role in this group. So once people are showered, he's going to start dealing cards, see if anybody wants to play while the hacking's going on.
I think Hammond had, or not Hammond, Minsk had mentioned earlier that he didn't want to say anything over comms. Can Io figure out if she can encrypt our communications?
That would be fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, okay then. So how we're going to do that, we will use your comms skill.
Okay.
And if you roll your comms skill first, let's see. Okay, then let's do it this way. Okay, I don't want it to be the same as computer hacking, but I want to put something up there. So let's say, I'm just thinking off the top of my head now, we might change it. Let's say you're going to roll your comms, and then the difficulty that you achieve is the equivalence of the security that needs to be penetrated, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That makes
But
great
the only
sense.
thing that we're going to do is that we're going to reverse it, because obviously if you roll 1%, that we don't want to
Right. We don't.
that
She's
should-
not smart enough to do that.
Yeah, but what you need to do is you roll it, and then so roll your communications,
okay.
and then
Ouch.
right now you can use a point of luck at this point to do
That's
one of
sad.
two things. You can either re-roll it, okay, and then that'll be it. You would have to take that second re-roll, or you can use the point of luck to reverse your 85 to get 58, which would mean it would succeed on a very easy.
I think I'll re-roll it and play
Okay.
the dice.
Yeah, go for it. Nice. Okay, then.
Very nice.
So that's good. So we've got a standard roll of a roll of 26. Okay, let me mark that down. I've got a notebook that says kill Minsk next. And then underneath there, comms security 26%. There you go. And that was what standard, wasn't it? Yeah. Does anybody want to play cards with Mr. Newman?
I'll step out of my shell with my towel wrapped around my masculine body and sit down.
Sorry.
Well, my clothes are in the washing machine.
Yeah. Are you
You
playing?
have more clothes.
And
he just wants to sit down and show off his glistening chest.
So what's going to happen? He's going to walk out the bathroom with that towel wrapped around him. He's going to have a comb in his hand. He's going to be going like that because I've got no hair, so I've got to
Pretend.
live my dream. And I'm going to comb it back and just I'll play cards.
And hope that the towel doesn't snag on anything as you're walking forward.
Well, actually,
just
I feel like if Hammond does the same thing, and then as an old person, everyone knows how they are in locker rooms. Just kind of just kind of displaying.
Everything's lower.
A friction
You have an
burn.
Arctic rabbit on? What's going on?
Okay, so Newman, you're down to play cards. And Minsk, you're playing cards. Who else is playing cards?
I would love to play some cards.
Sounds like a good opportunity for some what is it called?
Blackjack.
Well,
Well, just to get to know each other.
Getting to know each rapport.
Yeah.
Rapport. Yeah.
So Newman, do you have a gambling skill?
I don't. I have
Do I?
my sleight of hand skill. So Newman's more about like the tricks and the flicking cards. He probably has like a rudimentary knowledge of like one or two games, but
Okay,
he doesn't
then.
know much for strategy.
Yeah, seems very lawful for sure.
Okay.
And I'm sure
just
it's
like
just
to
the
play
flipping
with
cards, not the other one.
Does anybody have sleight of hand as
No.
a skill?
No,
No.
I don't have gambling.
Okay, then. So this is what we're going to. What is your sleight of hand skill?
Let me pull my character sheet back up. That's 54 is my sleight.
Okay, then.
So
So
I'm going to just give you all my credits now.
Well, this is how I hid a grenade launcher last
I
adventure,
know.
guys.
Oh, you did.
You?
Yeah,
I
I was the
God.
stealthy one. I rolled a 1.
In
And
your
so-
man purse?
Yeah, well, I kicked like the guy was hunting animals with a grenade launcher, Tex, and then he dropped the grenade launcher, and I hit it in the like bottom of our vehicle, so that somebody could blow up a monster later. But
So
Makes
I
sense to
didn't know
me.
it at the time.
So augmentation is 1/20th of your skill, is it? So what's your sleight of hand? 62.
54.
54. So a 10th would be 5, wouldn't it? Let's
Yeah.
augment it therefore with Where's my augmentation? I'm sure I had an
I couldn't find mine either, but times like 0.05 would be 2.7, so it'd round up to a 3.
Bottom left of the screen.
54. Yeah, I just found
I think
it.
my augmentation though is always 4.
It would depend on the skill. It depends whether or not what skill. Let's have a look at a different skill roll.
Well, let me do my pilot. My pilot is 88.
See, I don't see I don't see why it's giving it as 4. If I do,
What's your comm skill? Is it 30%?
30%. Yeah.
It's 6%. Yeah.
Yeah. So why is it coming up?
It's broken.
It's broken. Yeah. Okay then. So
basically, on the left hand side of this bottom of your screen below, in Will's picture, there's an augment button there. If you click that, and then add the
yeah. So what's your you've got a sleight of hand with 11%, is that right? As an augmentation, therefore, Mr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you can augment your roll when you're playing cards with by 11%. So you go to everybody, because nobody's got a gambling skill. We're just
Streetwise wouldn't count.
No. Sleight of hand. Okay, so unless
and I have an amazing insight.
Yeah. So this is just a fun game. So everybody's going to roll a 1d100 percentile dice. So if you go down the left-hand side, there's a little dice down at the bottom. If you press that, it should pop out, and there's a d100 there that you can just press. Highest dice roll wins. And you can augment yours. Yours is going to be plus 11.
Yes.
Can I augment with my insight?
What's your insight?
My insight.
542.
No, just 62.
62.
Yeah. Because I'd like to read them and, get the feel of the game and,
So that
You've read me for a long time. Newman, he wears sunglasses, but that doesn't hide his emotions very well.
Is tick.
So in which case, anybody with an insight roll will be able to augment it with insight, wouldn't they?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
So because everybody can augment it with insight, why don't we just roll a normal dice? Because everybody's going to be increasing it.
Yeah.
My
Where's
insight
the
is the
augment
same.
button? I
Bottom left-hand side of the screen, right down the bottom.
I don't see anything like there.
Oh, have you got to activate it in the settings? Let's have a quick look.
I think it's the one. Do you have the one next to the settings?
Yeah.
We haven't started yet. Do you have the little list?
There we go. Yeah, it's augment wasn't there, or blind roll. I got
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then. So if we're augmenting it with insight, then you can. I'm now thinking, if you're augmenting with insight, can you augment it with deceit as well?
That's what I was gonna ask, actually.
You may as well use your best of those, like to either be reading people, to be deceiving people, or to be amusing your friends with cool card tricks.
Because with poker, deceit is a very key thing.
Okay,
it is. Mine's 62, so I'm quite happy.
So in which case, what we're going to do is this. You decide as a character which skill you want to use. So you can either use insight, deception, deceit, sleight of hand.
How about influence or piloting?
Piloting.
Do you know?
If things go wrong, demolitions.
Do you want to know? I was just about to explain why you couldn't use influence there. Okay. Those three, you need to decide which one of those three roles you're going to do. And whoever wins the roll, so it's opposed, Okay, but obviously a crit will overdo a standard, but it's still opposed. So the higher you can get to your skill roll, the better. So you need to decide what you're going to use: insight, deceit, or sleight of hand. Either one of them can be used. And then once you decide about this, we're going to have round one. Roll your skills, and let's see who wins the first round.
And
If I start losing, can I use unarmed?
You can just go to bed.
Oh, okay.
I'll be using slap
No,
attack.
you don't need to augment.
We're just using
Arthur.
our skill now.
Oh,
Just use your
Uh-huh.
skill. So
Okay.
either insight, deceit, or sleight of hand. It's your choice.
Oh,
Well,
we're just using skill, right? Okay.
Just use the skill. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and deal the cards out.
is it gonna be variances of success or seeing who is the highest? I don't.
It's
I
going
mean,
to
I
be.
may as
It's
well throw a luck point here.
Are you?
Oh,
As well. I'm making a
No.
17.
You are invested.
I'm invested in winning.
17. Okay, then. So Newman's got 17. He used sleight of hand. Who else is playing? Minsk gets a 37
Oh, do I do it?
with his insight.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if I've seen what he's just done there.
And Tex gets
Oh,
a 9,
no.
but not a crit. So you are actually still in
my
the lead with
goodness.
37. Hammond's playing a different game at all, unless no, he can't. Even if you reverse that, it would be 6, which is still not a critical because your critical is 5. So which means
Bummer.
Minsk, you win that first round. Okay, round 2. Is everybody still in?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, then off you go. Then decide which skill you want to roll and roll away.
Again,
To
I'm
be
just sat
fair,
there with my
Io,
cards.
Minsk is always winning these card games for some
Well,
reason.
I'm watching everything you do. I'm just sat there. Like, behave.
So Newman beats Io by 1 point. Minsk fails.
I'm
Newman.
gonna use. I'm gonna
You
use.
shut- you just blows the
I'm
card
not.
from
I'm not gonna use a point. Look, I'm
No,
gonna let it ride.
Oh, but Hammond, you win that 23-24, then gets a 29. So that's round 1 was to Mince. Round 2 is for Hammond. Round 3, who's in?
Oh, I'm always in.
Why not?
Ooh.
Whoa, Newman's failed. So fail gets a 9. Minsk,
296.
I'm going to lean over to Hammond and say, "I'll let you win."
Okay, final round. What round is this? Round 4.
4.
If you're in, roll. I might do one more
Oh,
round,
what-
actually.
what to
Oh,
roll?
46.
That's good. That is good.
Io doesn't get it.
I'm gonna insight this. Oh,
Oh,
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Wait,
You
I'm gonna
can't
use a
use-
point of luck and reverse that. Thank you.
Things get brutal when we play cards.
That's
Oh,
at
yeah.
41.
So I've got a 57 there.
And you got a 57, a 14. Yeah. So Minsk, you win again. Okay, let's make it just a nice round 5. Last round.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's stay up late, everybody, playing cards with each other in the future.
Gosh darn it.
Oh crap!
Oh,
Oh.
Newman with the crit.
No.
oh, Newman.
Let's just bet all of our money on this last one here.
Newman's kept me alive, so I'm gonna let him win.
I got one.
Okay, just to make this a little bit interesting. So Minsk, how many did you win?
3.
3. Newman, how many did you win?
1 with a critical.
Hammond
1.
and
One.
Because I like
Io.
I don't think I won a single one.
Okay then. So I'm going to start a new table of wealth or something like that.
Well, what I was going to suggest with the money we got from the chip was putting that into a central pool.
That 4%.
Yeah, don't we have like our party
Yeah.
pool from
A
last
party
time
pool,
where
yeah.
we were putting anything we were making from the job into the job?
Exactly.
Because last time we had like 3 quests at the same time and we succeeded at one, and we're like, okay, we're using this as a shared pool for now. Because there's just like a couple percentiles.
And who?
Oh, that was a biker gang, wasn't it? Things like that.
Oh, we
Yeah.
should have just done the 4% wealth that we got off the card.
Did
But
you?
I always thought we just played for like points.
Did you?
It is point
friendly.
score. It's bragging rights.
Did you? Did you have a joined up wealth skill that you created?
I think we just like put it in somebody's account, but it was understood that like they would pay if we need to buy any tools for the job. It would come out of that. Like, little,
Okay, then. So
I don't remember who we gave it to though.
Probably the person with the highest wealth.
Perdi.
Oh,
Perdi, yeah.
that's actually interesting. I wonder
It's a
if
good idea. Our wealth bot.
Our bank bot.
And when she moves around, it makes jostling noises
There's
Okay.
actually a few
He's a
coins
piggy
inside of
bank.
her.
from the chips and coins.
Slot in a back. Just put
Okay.
money in there.
She's been smacked around a bit. She has a few loose parts.
So
that's true.
I'm going to give her a wealth
All here.
skill of, what do you think roughly it was? I don't have a number.
97,
400%.
90, 98, I think. 98.
I think I actually have the answer here.
Percent.
1 million.
Oh yeah, good old
$1 million
Debek or
Say again, sir?
I'm scrolling through for the wealth. Okay, so it was 5%, but Minsk upgraded it to 7%.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
And that's the
I
one
can
that
see
it looks
myself
like we were
doing that.
using as our
Yeah.
replace stuff.
I've put it onto Perdi. Perdi's now got 7%.
So that would be 11% now, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So
With the
you're
4.
putting that 4% in here as well. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. It's a party wealth.
Okay, then. So we've got 5 minutes left, which I think will be enough time just to do this other dice rolling.
To have a fight.
No, I
So-
can't help but feel that. Okay, so by the morning, would Hammond's intelligence be back, or would the pool still be low?
It's never coming back.
It's never.
No,
So
no.
the
He's getting kind of old.
You can never go back.
it's
He's a little
the
forgetful now.
the intelligence is never depleted. It's just like a
Oh,
pool,
okay.
but it won't matter in any case because if you're doing the rolls, it's your intelligence that it will be, and then
Okay.
he will.
Yeah, I was just
yeah.
curious. Maybe have him do it because I'm learning that they have much better characters than I do. So
So, well, you can do one of two things. You can either, whoever's got the highest computer skill, it's best to roll and augment it with the not so high. That's
I'm
the
pretty sure his is higher than mine.
Mine's 62.
Yeah, mine's 50.
Okay, then. So let me just write down my pool. So therefore, you're going to be rolling. You're going to be rolling Hammond. It's going to be
Okay.
your intelligence, which is
18,
16.
16.
Okay. And so what's your computer skill? IO?
62.
IO?
Sorry.
I'm 50.
50. So you'll get 10% onto yours, Hammond's. So just up it by 10%. Then remember to take it away again. And we're doing half hour. So how long do you want to work on this?
I think we said last time he wanted to do 4. So we'll
4 hours. Okay. So
4 hours of just
okay, then.
smacking it.
So this is first hour. So this is going to be our number 1. Hang on a minute. Let me just get this out. So this is the encrypted file, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Really well encrypted.
Okay, then. Off you go. Roll away. Nice. Nice.
Drop the mic and walk out. It's not quite
Yeah.
a crit, but you almost made it. Jesus.
I'm pissed from the previous
Ooh.
night.
So I don't. I succeed, but you're better than me. So yours is the roll. So
Okay,
you need to give me 1d6 worth
Even
of
with the critical, it's not 2d6
no.
critical. All right, lame.
No,
You're
hang on.
1% of the
Well, we got a
critical.
full 6.
I tell you what I'll say, because it's a critical, I'll just give it max damage and let you have a 6.
No, well, it's
Even
worked out
though you
anyways.
Okay, that's the first hour. A half hour,
Alright.
sorry. Second hour, half hour. So this is going up to the first hour.
All right, come on, baby. Ooh,
44.
Nice.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Take that 6 back off your intelligence.
All right, fine.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's first hour go. So this is an hour and a half.
Do you have to roll 1d6? Or is that?
No, he
we
went
made it max.
right
We
for
made it
the-
max.
Ah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Ooh, I'm going to use my last point of luck to reverse that.
Okay. So 68.
You go. I'm better.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, you've got it. So roll another d6.
Come on, give me some good ones. I need a good d6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's almost like you got a crit.
Yeah. I'm getting worried now. Okay,
Yes, be worried.
then. 2 hours. 2 hours. Off you go.
All right, come on. I need some nice juju, everybody.
Booga, 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 booga.
Choo-choo.
Just to let you know,
Oh,
you win again. D, so that'd be 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all together should be 18.
18.
Yep. Okay. Just to remind you that Io can use her luck points as well. So even though you're
Ooh.
out of luck
Ooh.
points,
I got 2 left.
you
and we do have group if need be as well.
yeah. Okay then.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So you could use one of those, and then actually, because you've got one left, because the other one was used last adventure in the Destin.
Oh, heroic. Yeah.
So you can get, but let's go. Let's see what this one is. Okay, come on, Hammond.
But
Roll.
bear in mind, you get no more heroics until next month.
Oh,
Come on.
oh
Oh,
no!
yes.
No, you.
Yeah.
You get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Aha. All right, so I'll do a d6. See where I'm at.
that's good.
3.
That
Okay,
is
21.
that is good enough. That is out. That was a 90%
I know. It was
computer
tough.
hack with a 20 pool for it. So that was really good.
Minsk is going to walk over to Newman and Io, and he's going to get in the middle and put his arms over each of one and said, I knew you could do it. Bearing in mind that he's still got his towel on.
Yeah.
Still kind of wet.
Yeah, it's a bit moist.
Okay.
Once you both know, we're all counting on you. Good luck.
Yes. Good luck, we're all counting on you.
Okay. So do you want the information now, or do you want to start off next week with it?
Let's start off next week.
I think next week too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's going to
That's a little
be
start point.
the cliffhanger that brings the audience back.
So yeah, so good grief, we need to do better. So you just get to the point. So this session finishes with Io and Hammond crunched over a computer, tapping away and pointing to different things. And finally it comes up, decryptic. And then a whole load of data starts to come up on it.
Is this where they turn around and say, "We've got it," and it cuts to credits?
Yeah, cuts to,
No,
you
hang
won't
on,
believe.
we found them.
You won't believe what, and then that's it. It cuts
Roll
to
credits.
roll credits. Right, I'm just going to put you back on the starting screen here. Okay, well done, everyone. Thank you for another fantastic session, especially setting off the new adventure. Before we go, Mr. Pickles, would you like to do some advertising?
Yes, because I am Mr. Pickles, and I have a podcast show with my friend Brad. We talk about movies. It's called And I Took That Personally. You can find it on Apple and Spotify podcasts. And I Took That Personally. We have like 6 episodes, and we just talk about movies and dissect them to death. The latest one is Wizards from 1977, and the upcoming one is likely going to be Dave Made a Maze, a movie made out of cardboard. And that's my bit.
Thank you.
I love your pods.
I put the link to that podcast in the chat on Twitch. Medivac.
Yeah, hi. We are playing again Trail of Cthulhu in Malta, 1935. On Monday at 7:30 new time.
Ooh.
Yeah, we just robbed an English army base. It's quite good. We're going to die to that on Monday night. And then on Thursday we are on episode 5 of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Where you play a messenger.
I play a mailman. Yes, God damn it! How life reflects on role playing. We killed a troll. I was quite chuffed at that last week. We killed a troll and saved. Yeah.
Is that the manager?
No, this woman who kept on posting stuff.
Yeah, they killed the troll. Medivac's character just gave it lots of paper cuts. It was just like, ow, take that, take that.
Handygram.
And stuck a stamp on his forehead as it died. There you go, first class.
The funny thing was, we were waiting on this thing, and the non-combatant comes over and hits it with a cudgel, gets a crit in the head, and kills it. And it's like, you killed Steely, you stood around for like 3 rounds.
Excellent. I love it. I love it when that happened.
He played her perfectly. Yeah.
Didn't that happen with Bartleby one point?
Did when he got his negative heal.
No, well,
there was the time where I parried.
He got a crit.
Yeah,
I parried and I disarmed them completely.
That was it.
That's the time I decided I should get defensive.
Yeah, and I said, "I've missed you," and you said, "Can I do a parry roll?" And that actually critted, and then you disarmed it, and that was it. Brilliant. Captain Kangaroo or Tex, do you want to advertise anything? No.
Don't give Captain Kangaroo the opening.
Yeah,
it's just you cream that I found.
Tex, is there anything you would like to advertise?
I stream occasionally, different times of the day. Sometimes it's the morning, sometimes it's late at night. I try to stream around nighttime for my European friends, for nighttime for them, and then nighttime for or early morning for my
American
US friends. And then
best friends.
It's US.
The US
best.
Oh, I thought you said my best friend.
I like that you heard US and you thought of best. And that's what matters.
Hey, Trump's to you.
What kind of games do you play, Tex?
I play a variety of different kinds of games, but I really like exploration games. I was last playing No Man's Sky and doing the new expedition. And I played that for about 5 hours. So, you can, Tickety Tex is my handle there. So
fantastic. Thank you very much. Is there anything sensible you want to add, Captain Kangaroo?
What day is it? Sensible.
No, No,
This,
okay then. I'll just move
I
on.
love you, man. You're awesome.
Right. Tomorrow I will be streaming some more Minecraft. I'm trying to make my Druid Grove at the moment. So that'll be at 9 o'clock. And then at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I will be back playing some Elder Scrolls Online. We're going to continue to battle with our Arcanist or Arcanist, whichever one. I like
It
Arcanist.
sounds like a slur. So.
Yeah.
Arcantist.
Yeah, I'm going to be there firing my green triangles at people and causing them to die rapidly.
Geometry.
Yeah, it is. It's a mathematical class,
Conundrum.
or it's a maths class for us, Medivac, and for you three guys, it's
math.
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 Yeah.
Math.
We don't need the
With,
S.
with an
The
F,
S
right?
is in
You
US.
guys put an
Yeah.
F in there. Got it. Okay.
The math.
If it's geometry, it's hell to me. So
Oh, my favorite. So Darth says thanks for the adventure. Thank you for all coming along and supporting the stream. We really do appreciate it. And do come back next time when we'll see what's on the cryptid data chip. What is this strange person called Matthew Brock, and why is his business card on a dying or a comatose lady's data chip? What does it mean by save my daughter? And also, how radioactive is Hammond and Minsk? We'll find out next week. Don't be late. 7 o'clock, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. Thank you for watching
Hammond
tonight.
will develop a third nipple.
On
or
his
those
fo-
eyes he was talking about.
on his forehead.
I'm more worried about people shaking us and throwing us to light the way.
Yes.
Is that a third eye? No, it's quite sensitive.
No.
Don't touch.
Portable glow sticks. That's here we go. Right, before this goes down
Only
into
have
sheer
one
nothingness,
glow stick.
I am going to say goodbye for me. Thank you for watching the stream. Goodbye. And say goodbye, people.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a good time. Bye-bye.
I have to